Well, we're getting close to turkey season. I wanted to try out a few different loads. I've been shooting these, so I have an idea of how they perform. Today I'm going to put them on some paper so you can sort of see the difference of, like what I've been seeing. I also want to talk about, I've been shooting with a couple different sights. Originally I had just the bead on the end of the gun. I then got a TruGlo sight and then a red dot sight. So I tried these three sights. I'll talk a little bit about them. So I'm shooting a Stoeger M3500. I have it dedicated as just my turkey gun. For goose hunting, right now I'm shooting the Beretta A500, A400. But yeah, this is my dedicated turkey gun. And so here's my thoughts. One is on this Stoeger, this bead is fairly large. And by the time that turkey's out there at 30 yards, the bead on the end is larger than the head. The larger this is, the larger your air is in your sighting. Also, you're looking down this, and for some reason, the sight path for me looking down the rib wasn't that great. I don't know how to explain it. Just like right here, it's like a light color. It just was hard for me to pick up the end of the rib, and then to aim this big bead just was a lot. It was a little bit of a struggle for me. So I went and got this TruGlo sight. I used it, I shot with it some. I think it's a good sight. It's better than the bead for sure. One advantage is the end dot is much smaller. It also gives you sort of a sight path to look up. And this is adjustable. You can adjust a little Allen bolt right here. You can also, if you're shooting to the right or left, swing this right or left to compensate and move it and move your, so there's some aiming, or there's some adjustability in the sight. I wouldn't say there are limits to it. Probably my biggest concern was that it could move. So it's just being held down by some bolts. This could easily move. This, even up here, there's still some movement up here. I didn't like that. It also isn't completely, easy to look down. There's some air, like how you look, you could be a little to the right, little to the left. So it's not totally perfect to look down. One thing to think of when you're looking down a rib, you're having to align the rib, the dot, and the turkey head. So there's 3 points. This rib is hard to really align. There's not really anything specific to look. You're just making sure you're down on the gun, putting this dot on the turkey's head. So there's some air to that. With this, it at least gives you more of a point. This is a little more precise. But you, again, have to align this with the turkey head. So there's 3 points. So I'll get into the red dot. When you have a red dot, you only have 1 point or 2 points. You only have the point here and the turkey head. You don't have to align anything else. So that's a huge advantage to me. I can pick up the gun and just look down and pick up one dot. And the amount of air in there to me is, there's a lot, to me, that's a lot of reduction of air. I'm only having to align one spot with that turkey head instead of when you're looking, like I said, down the sights, you're having to align it. I sort of look at it like if you're shooting just with the end bead, it's almost like rifle hunting and just shooting down the barrel of a gun. That's my perception. The TruGlo is a lot like having open sights, where you're having to align the sights. There's some air to that. And to me, the red dot's a lot more like shooting a scope on a rifle, where you're just aligning those crosshairs with the deer. To me, it's shooting much accurate. It's a very small dot. I think it's a superior way to go. Now, if you do want to go with the red dot, be aware that you do need to have bolting mounts to bolt a Picatinny reel. Sorry if I said that wrong. Picatinny rail. You do need to be able to bolt down a Picatinny rail so that you can mount this red dot. If you don't have bolts here, you can't. There are some gun manufacturers make adapters up here, but really the way to go is have these bolts. So you might not be able to put a red dot on your turkey gun. I'm shooting the Holsun HS 403C 2 MOA LED. The manufacturer says this is good for 30,000 hours on the battery. So I'm not too worried about the battery going dead. It also has some little solar panels up. The gun manufacturer says on a sunny day like this, it is now being powered by the solar panel and not the battery. So there's some advantages there. It also, when your gun is not in use, it turns off. So I'm pretty confident that this will work at any time. So I'm going to shoot a couple of rounds. I've brought a couple different boxes of shells. I'm going to shoot them on paper just to show some different patterns in shells. I'm shooting the turkey choke that comes with my Stoger. So I spend a lot of time hunting mountain turkeys. We're up here in the mountains. It's really hard to ever even have an opportunity to shoot much further than 25, 30 yards. Actually, a lot of shots are probably 15 yards. You know, one thing that I'm starting to see is I think I want to shoot, I've been shooting 5s. Right now it looks like I'm going to shoot 6s, and I might even try some like 8s and 9s. Right now the market on shells obviously is a little bit low, so I don't have a lot of choices out there. But right now what I'm seeing is that 6s seem to shoot. For me, it looks like 6s are going to be the better way to go. So I got a paper out there. I've got a little dot on it. Let's just see how these things pattern up. All right, so we're looking at 2 different rounds right here. This one over here, Winchester Long Beard XR 3.5 inch 2 ounce number 5 shot. This one, Remington 3.5 inch 5 shot 2 ounce. So both of them are 5 shot, both are 2 ounce loads. You can see that there's a much better pattern with the Winchester Long Beard. The one thing that I don't like too about this Remington is you've got a lot of flyers, you know, like way out here. We've got some flyers where the Winchester, you really don't have any flyers. It's pretty much all right there. To me, it's a clear winner that Winchester looks like a lot better. So here we've got 2 different 6 shots. This one over here, this is Kent. It's a 2.25 ounce charge, number 6 shot. This one is Winchester Double X, and it's just 2 ounces, number 6 shot. You know, to me, this Double X, it looks like a fairly good pattern. Obviously, this would kill a turkey at 25 yards, no problem. But I will say, definitely this Kent, there's definitely a lot. I mean, you can see right in here, this pattern, there is a lot of shot in there. It looks like I shot a little off on this one. I still don't think I have my red dot totally dialed in. You can see I'm a little off to the side on these. These targets are flipped upside down, so it looks like they're off to the right, when actually I was shooting a little to the left. But I might need to dial that in. It looks like maybe 2 inches over to get it really dialed in, but we're pretty darn close. Height, it looks like right about perfect. So I didn't have a chance to put the Winchester XR number 6 on paper. I will say that that's the best pattern. But you know, the one I probably wouldn't recommend is that Remington number 5 shot, at least for my gun. Again, I'm gonna go to 6-shot. Just looks like, you know, for me, it's gonna be the best shot to shoot. Right now, it's gonna be Winchester XR, 2-ounce loads, number 6-shot. But that Kent, I'm not gonna be afraid to throw that Kent in if I need to. We're a little limited on shells, so I think I've got about 7 of those left, the Winchester XR number 6s. I got 4 tags, so I got a lot of turkeys to shoot. So if I do run out, I can just I can shoot these Kent and feel very confident in it. I only brought 4 pieces of paper. I've got 5 boxes of shells. I will tell you right now that the Winchester Long Beard XR 3.5, 1200 feet per second, 2-ounce 6-shot is shooting the best. So that's the shot I'm gonna go with right now. I've already patterned it, I know that. Sorry I didn't bring enough papers to shoot this and show you on paper. I did want to shoot at 50 yards. Now again, I never shoot at 50, about 30. Oh, last year I shot one, I think 38 yards, 39. So we'll say 40 is pretty much the longest I have just about ever shot a turkey. And I don't recommend, 40 is about your max limit. I don't recommend shooting past there unless you are, I just don't recommend it. But I wanted to pattern it. I just wanted to see what it looks like at 50 yards. You know, maybe it's a shot that I can make. I don't know, but I just want to pattern it. Let's see what it looks like at 50 yards. So again, this is a Winchester Long Beard XR 3.5 6-shot. Yeah, let's just see what it looks like at 50 yards. So let's take a look. Let's see what this looks like. Again, this is the Winchester XR number 6-shot. This is at 50 yards. I really don't know what it'll look like. So I don't know, you know, I'm not an expert at patterns. You know, on this target, it says I've got, in this circle, I've got 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, you know, about 17 shots right in there. I don't know, you know, that doesn't really look like a really great pattern. So there are shots in there. You know, again, I don't recommend shooting this far. So, I mean, to me, this pattern really doesn't look like it's that effective at 50 yards. You know, that's up to you. I really am not an expert on patterns. Technically, it looks like it would kill a bird. But it's definitely, it drops off quite a bit from that 25 yards, that pattern.